Hi, is anybody there?
Hi.
Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Lindsay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a drink of water while we're waiting everybody to get here. Hi. You're both on mute, so if you want to unmute yourself so we can talk, that's great. If you want to stay on mute, that's okay too. All right, I need to grab this. Marla, where are you from?
I'm in Longmont, Colorado.
Oops. Try again. My speaker wasn't on.
I'm in Longmont, Colorado.
Oh, very good. Are you getting a lot of snow there today too?
We did yesterday. We got about 8 inches yesterday.
Oh, wow. That's great. We got a little bit. There was about 4 inches out there. Hey, Jen, how are you?
Woo-wee. It was a mad dash to get to the computer tonight.
I just barely got back myself. I had to run my son, and I didn't know I was going to have to do that. I'm like, okay, we better make sure we get home in time.
Yeah, I'm trying to set up a new consultant with her launch party tomorrow. So.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Hi, Mallory. Glad to see you here.
Can you see me?
Who is that? I can't see you, I don't think.
It's Callie.
Callie, I don't see you.
I don't know how to get myself on here.
There is
Look in the lower left corner.
Yeah, lower left corner. There's a little movie camera. You might be on. There we go. There you are. Hi.
Hey.
Now we can see you.
Okay. Yay.
All right. Well, this is a great group right here at 7 o'clock. I love it.
Yes, thank you.
And so far we don't have any static. So we were kind of concerned about the internet connection with storminess, but so far we're all good. So I think we should just go forward with this. Let's see, I am recording, so we've got that going.
Good.
All right.
I know a couple of people are trying to jump in.
Okay.
Meredith's in her car. Hi, Meredith.
Minutes.
Awesome. There she is.
Hi, Meredith. Maybe we should do some quick introductions with the people who are here while we're waiting.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I see a lot of faces I don't know.
Yeah. Lindsay, you're on mute, but can you unmute and tell us who you are and where you're from?
Hey, I'm muted because my husband's doing some construction work.
Oh.
So you might not hear me. But I'm Lindsay. I've been with Paper Chef for 2.5 years. So I really want to get director this year.
Yay, that's a great goal. Love it. She lives in Oregon.
Yeah, go Oregon.
All right. We'll let you mute then so that we don't have construction noise. Very good. And Marla is from Colorado.
Whoop.
Mallory, can you unmute for a minute and tell us where you're from?
Yeah, so my name is Mallory. I am part of Allison's team, and I live actually in Japan because my husband is part of the Air Force.
Wow!
So we are overseas for 2 more years.
So fun to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you.
That is great. Callie.
Hey, I'm Callie. I live in Choteau, Montana. We're buried in snow right now.
You got a lot of snow on this storm?
So much. We have so much snow.
Oh,
And I joined PC last June, so really wanting to promote to director because I just went part-time at my full-time job. So
yay! I didn't know you did that. That's awesome.
yeah, it just got approved. So
That is great. Love it.
yeah.
All right. And then Jen's
Well, I'm gonna speak for Meredith because she's driving and 2 hands on the wheel, lady.
yeah.
So Meredith is still in her first 90 days. She already has 2 active team members, so she is going to be officially promoting to team leader on the 1st. And she wants director.
Cool. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Meredith, where do you live? Jen, where does Meredith live?
California.
Perfect. I love it. I love it.
She's madly trying to get home from work. She's a vet tech.
Very good. Jolisa, is that how you say your name?
Yeah, it's Jalissa.
Jolisa. So
Yeah.
tell us where you're from.
I'm from Yuma, Colorado.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Did you get some of this storm, or is it still just nice and warm there?
We got a little bit. It was -5 this morning when I woke up, and now it's kind of warming up. It's supposed to be 80 tomorrow, so
Wow, that's a
We'll
big
see.
swing.
yeah, Sunday it was about 80 here. It was really
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Anika, how are you?
Unmute, lady. Hi, honey. She's not unmuting.
No, that's okay. She's from Georgia, right?
No, Florida.
Florida. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally messed that one up.
Well, that's okay.
And here's,
How's it going?
it's good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Stephanie, we're just doing some quick introductions. Where are you from, Stephanie?
From Otto. Well, I'm from Cali, Wyoming, but I live in the middle of nowhere, about 50.
Oops, you're kind of coming out. We can't really hear you very well.
I'm from Otto in Wyoming.
Wyoming. Okay,
Wyoming.
perfect. I read your lips for the Wyoming part, but we got it. Very good. Okay, Jen, I think we should go ahead and get started. So Jennifer's
agree.
going to start it out here, and then I'll do a part of it, and we'll take any questions you have. So that'll be great.
Yeah, if y'all don't mind, go ahead and muting yourselves just so we can cut down on the back. And Pauline, I think you have the ability as the admin to mute everybody. You have the power.
Looks like everybody's muted. Perfect.
All right, beautiful. Thanks, you guys.
And we're not getting any
So
feedback.
I wanted
so
to-
it should be good.
Yeah, good. We were very nervous about that part. All right, you guys. So I wanted to just go over with you what you are aiming for, our goals for this program, and what's going to be required not only of, during the Director Bound program, but also as a director, you need to know what you're striving for and what your goals are. So the requirements to promote for director, if you don't already know it, are at least 5 consultants on your team. And I'd like to get rid of the word under. You remember, this is all a team effort. They are not under you, they are with you. So I'd like you need to have 5 team members, and the month you have all 5 team members, you as the potential director need to have $750 in sales, and each of your teammates need to have a minimum of $150 in sales. Everybody has to be active. But here's the thing, you need to have $5,000 in team sales. So make sure that you are, as the potential director, you really do need to be pretty much responsible for almost half of that. Hey, Melanie, can you mute yourself? Welcome, welcome. As you join, you guys mute yourself, please. So 5 active team members, yourself with a minimum of 750, a minimum of 150 with each of them, okay? Once you promote, you don't have to worry about as much with all 5 of them submitting 150 or more. You just need to have that 750 personal sale and 5,000 team sale. Okay, so those are the maintenance requirements. Again, it's my personal belief as the homeowner, if you will, as the director of the team, that you should really want to take on the responsibility of doing at least half. And that will really help you alleviate a lot of the stress that you might have when it comes to maintaining your requirements, okay? And by the end of this program, you're gonna be so used to having a full calendar that doing that 2,500 is gonna be easy. Plus, there are some other things that you're gonna want to have. But let's talk about the really fun stuff for a second, okay? As the director benefit, you are going to receive a 3% override on all of your team members, including your own sales. So yay for a bigger paycheck, because you see that and you see it fast. It's really awesome. You're also going to get a 3% override on your first generation. For every consultant that is active on your team, you're going to get $10 as an activity bonus on that. You know, a lot of the thought on that activity bonus, try not to think of it as additional income. Try to think of it as training incentive money. You know, you bank that money with the idea of you want to give that back into your team. You know, that's the way I've kind of been thinking about it. So whenever I do like Green by 15 incentives, or I do a big booking blitz and the prize at the end of it is going to be something, I take it out of that $10 activity fund that I get from each of my consultants, so that I don't feel like it's coming out of my own personal bank account. When you promote, this is one that I did not know about, you get 250 PC dollars. Spend them on anything you want, conference. You get 250 PC dollars. Just amazing. Do you see that subliminal thing just pass you by? Conference. So you will also get 30 PC dollars for every recruiting bonus that you get, you know, the 3,000 trip points. All of these things are director benefits that you are going to love, okay? You get some bling. You're gonna get the beautiful Swarovski crystal necklace that has the red crystal in there as a director. It's the Happy Spoon necklace. It sits right about here. I should have worn mine. I didn't tonight. So you get this beautiful little bling necklace, and upon promotion, here's the cool thing, you guys. Upon promotion, and Pauline, make sure I get this right, for the 3 months leading up to, no, upon your promotion, let me back up, you're going to get director's boxes. You get all of those amazing spring products that came out in our director boxes. You're going to get 2, to be honest, whenever you promote. Okay, now come next fall, when it comes time for director boxes again, make sure you are active. Is it 2 out of the 3 or 3 out of the 4?
3 out of the 4, and it has to be $12.50 in sales 3 out of the 4 months prior. And
leading up to. Yeah, so if we get, you know, we're going to get all our new spring or new fall products, excuse me, in September. So you've got May, June, July, and August. You've got to make sure that you are active with $12.50 in sales or more 3 out of those 4 months, and then you get your director's boxes. But again, you're directors by now, and you are already used to having a full calendar. You're going to be able to take care of that sales requirement with no problem.
The free products are one of my very favorite perks, so I love it. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh, any new director is going to tell you, Ashley and Jessica, they're all going to tell you, opening up those boxes was like Christmas morning. It was amazing. Plus your discount on other products goes up to 30% instead of 20%. So plus, here's another great one, your trip requirements for Scottsdale and Oahu go down. You don't have to have as many points to qualify for those trips. So if you haven't checked out that trip incentive calculator, make sure you go do that, because you're going to see you have to do less, which is great. We like that. So in the Director Bound group, if you haven't already, in the pinned post, make sure you add the calendar dates for all of these calls, and try to be on here live. I so appreciate those of you who are on here live, because that shows me that you are willing and trying to make time for this, and it's awesome. If you have to listen to a recording because life happens, I do encourage you to do it as quickly as possible after the call, because the longer you wait, the less time you have to do the homework from that call before the next one. Okay, all of these calls are going to be available for playback. And so some of the requirements, or the things that we are going to ask of you, we really want you to focus on your bookings. All right, and that's one of the things that we're going to try to help you with tonight. We'd like you to focus on 6 shows a month submitted. Okay, and as we know, life happens, so you're going to want to overbook your calendar to maybe 8 or 10 shows per month. Now, if you're only used to doing 2 or 3, I know this sounds like a really big jump, and I promise you do get used to it. All right, we're trying to help you with ideas for bookings and things like that. A little personal experience. A year ago, I was sitting very happily at 4 or 5 shows a month. I thought I was doing pretty great. Things were cooking along, but my business was just kind of stagnant, not really doing much. Well, I got involved with the Director Bound program, and then I promoted, and I got involved with the LEAD program with the home office. Their minimum requirements for me were 8 submitted parties and 2 recruits per month. So I had to make sure I had enough to get 8. And my first couple of months, I tore through my fingernails wondering if I was going to be able to get those 8 parties submitted. And now, you guys, it is second nature. I am not comfortable with myself until I have 8 to 10 parties on my calendar. I'm already booked for March. I'm booking up April and May right now. Okay, so one of the goals I'd like you to do is 5 contacts every single day. I want you to write down everybody you know. I want you to go back into all your past parties. Start with the most recent and start doing some customer care calls, and write down everybody who purchased. Go back into your groups, see about anybody who was really active in those parties, and start actively reaching out to them. Don't be afraid of the phone. I have to take this advice myself. Pick up the phone, call people, let them know how excited you are about these amazing new fall products that are about to come out, and you would love for them to have them in your kitchens first. All right, so try to make it a goal. The very first thing you do, you have to be intentional with this. Set aside 10 minutes in your morning, 15 minutes in your morning, and reach out to your 5 per day. All right, I don't let myself do anything else until I do my 5 per day. All right, and then, you know, don't be afraid of the no's. Okay? The no's are where we learn how to proceed and how to move forward. It's okay. They're not saying no to you as a person. They're just saying no to, you know, their situation right now, and find out if it's a no forever or if it's a no right now. Okay. I got some incredibly inspirational words from Julie Aldridge, and Kathy Cocazella. And I wanted to share these with you guys real quick before I turn it back over to Pauline. And it really has to do with your mindset in this program, okay? And I'd like to ask you if you have a growth mindset or if you have a fixed mindset, all right? And, you know, in a growth mindset, you are open to possibilities, you're not afraid of failure, but in that fixed mindset, when something goes wrong, it pulls you down and you let it stay there, okay? And so right now, I'd like each of you to decide to have a full calendar. Okay, block that time to make your 5 phone calls per day. Set party dates up to 3 months in advance. If your calendar is not full for, like, say, March by the 15th of February, you know you need to up your customer care calls. If April is not booked by the 15th of March, you need to up your calls, okay? Set aside time for host coaching. For those of you who are virtual consultants, this has never been more important than right now because of all of the changes that Facebook is making, all right? A lot of times, the people who are not getting involved with your virtual parties are not seeing your posts. So getting your host to help you and pull those party people in, the more interaction you're going to have in your parties, okay? So set time to really form a relationship with your host. If you are scared and you are full of fear, and who is not, because we are asking you to do something that is out of your comfort zone, I'd like you to decide to get over it, all right? Get over your fear, all right? If this is meant to be, it is up to me, all right? You are going to get out of this program what you put into it. And I'm telling you guys, everything that we are telling you to do, it is easy to do, but it is just as easy not to do. All right? So you can very easily, as your CEO, you can say, I'm out of time today. I'll make those calls tomorrow. You're only cheating yourself. Okay? Be a strong CEO of your business and do yourself the favor and make sure that you are acting like it. Don't be afraid of the no. If you are uncomfortable, get over it. Decide to get over it, okay? Growth requires you to stretch, all right? And we are going to ask you to try to stretch out of your comfort zone, and that's where you are really going to see the growth in your business. It will get easier. These will become habits, and they're going to become very, very good habits. Welcome the setbacks, all right? There are going to be some. In any business, there's going to be setbacks. I want you to ask yourself, how do I learn from these setbacks? What did this teach me? How can I change it for the next scenario? And don't let it defeat you. If you are feeling pushy, get over it, all right? You are not, if you feel pushy, it doesn't mean you are being perceived as pushy, okay? Let me say that again. Just because you're feeling that way doesn't mean the person you're talking to is perceiving you as that way. If you believe in what you do, then it's not being pushy. You're just offering opportunities to people, okay? So stop saying, I need more, and do what it takes to go get more, all right? Action, be your CEO. Pauline, I threw a lot of it.
Were you going to give some tips on virtual shows, or do I have this written down in the wrong order?
No. Tell you what, why don't I've been yapping a lot. Do you want to do a little bit of cooking? And
yeah, let's do that. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to give you some ideas on how to get live cooking shows on your calendar. And I know for those of you who are mostly virtual consultants, I want to challenge you to do a live one also, and vice versa. If you do all live, I want to challenge you to do some virtual parties. I do mostly live cooking parties. I actually love them. That'll show you how old I am. I mean,
no.
Anyway, I'm just going to give you some ideas on how to get live cooking shows, but a lot of these ideas, along with everything we do, is transferable to virtual if you're doing virtual, or live if you're doing live. So first of all, I was thinking, well, a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to talk to you about who to call or talk to, connect with, and then what to say. So those two things. But before you can do that, the first step is to look at your calendar and decide when you're going to work. So if you're doing virtual parties and you want to run 4 virtual parties in a week, and then 2 weeks later run 4 more virtual parties, put that on your calendar. If you're doing live cooking shows and you want to do it on Tuesday and Thursday every week, put that on your calendar. If you have a bunch of kids and your schedule always changes, look at their schedule first, and then go ahead and put your the days that you can work on your calendar. Because when you start contacting people, whether it's through text or email or on the phone or somebody that you might see in person, you're going to need to know exactly what days you have available so that you can book those shows with them. All right, so that's the first thing. Now let's talk about who to contact. I have a list here, and you don't need to worry about writing it down because I'll post it in the group, but I just want to read through this for you. First, I'm going to put my glasses on because when I printed it, it was small. Someone who has hosted with you before, someone who has a birthday in April, actually let's say March, somebody who has the same name starting, let me try that again, somebody who has a name with the same letter as your letter of their first name, like P. I would look for somebody else in my contacts whose first name starts with P. Let's see, someone who sells for another direct sell company. The fourth contact in your address book under S. The person who wrote you the oldest dated email in your inbox. Oh, I guess that would be a long time ago for me because I'm never good at cleaning out my inbox. The eighth person down in your Facebook message inbox. A teacher or a nurse. Someone who shares your birthday week. You can check your Facebook calendar for that. The 10th contact in your address book under D. There's 20 of these, and I'm not going to keep reading, but I hope you get the idea that you can really talk to anybody about this. And when you kind of do abstract people like this, then the great thing about it is you get into a lot of different circles. Sometimes we tend to call the same people over and over, our friends and our family, our close friends and our family, and we just call them over and over. But I'm going to post this. There's 20 things listed here, and they're all like this. They're all pretty abstract. But I want to challenge you to contact those 20 people. And what I like about this is truly there's going to be a lot of different groups of people there, which is exactly what you want. You don't want to always go back to the same people asking them to do shows for you. But truly, you can just talk to everyone about booking a show. Okay, so that's the easy part, who to talk to, because the answer is everyone. But I gave you some specifics, so it'll give you somebody to specifically call. But the next thing is, what do I say? And it kind of depends on what, how you're going to contact them. But let me give you some ideas. What I like to do, no matter how I'm contacting them, is make it all about them. This is not about me as the consultant. It's not about the trip I'm earning or the promotion I'm trying to get. If you make it all about them, it doesn't sound pushy because you're trying to help them. And if you look at this as a service to them, for any of you who have hosted a Pampered Chef party, you know how exciting it is to get all of that free product. I mean, that is so fun. And so if you try to remember that and remember what a service you're doing for them, helping them get a lot of free products from Pampered Chef for free, discounted, then it becomes a service for them and it doesn't make it about you. And so that's the mindset that's super important when you're talking to people and asking them to host a show. You're asking them to host a show so they can get all of the free products, not for you. So try to remember not to say, will you host a show for me? Because that's not what we want to do. We want them to host a show for them so they can get all the free products. So if I were calling somebody on the phone, I know that's really old-fashioned, but it's a really great way to communicate. If I were calling them on the phone, a lot of times you just have to leave messages, which is fine, but I would leave a message that sounds something like this. This is Pauline with Pampered Chef, and I'm trying to give away lots of free product in March, and I was just wondering if you would love to have a shopping spree. We have some awesome new products, and also you can pick a stone at 60% off, so it's a really great host bonus. Give me a call. I would love to talk to you about a date because it will be really fun to get your friends together so I can show everybody the new products. They're going to love them. So just excitement in your voice and what they're going to get out of it are really important things when you leave that message. And almost always you leave a message. And of course, if you do get a live person on the phone, you could have basically the same conversation with them. March is like the very best time ever to be really trying to up your calendar because the new products are here and they are awesome. It's really fun. And the other thing is the stoneware sale. I mean, it used to be in October all the time. And so everybody always was waiting for the stoneware sale. And we have both of those in March. Stoneware for our hosts and new products. All right. So a text message. Of course, a text message you want to be short and sweet. And I really think this is the best way. Well, for me, it's one of the very best ways. I think sometimes on Facebook, people see things, sometimes they don't, but they always see a text. And so I try to either make a phone call or send a text. But on a text, I might just say, hey, Sarah, I'm booking shows for March right now. We have new products, and it's also our stoneware sale for our hosts. Can we book a date? Right there, it's talking about new products, and can we book a date? In an email, an email might be very similar to what you would say on the phone. And the great thing about email is you can just attach the specials. Same with Facebook message. You can just attach those specials to them, which is really great. A lot of times I find it easier if I have a recipe or a new product in mind. And this is especially great if you're talking to somebody in person. And if you can think about a recipe or a product that you're passionate about, and especially if there's a new product you're really excited about or a new recipe, I might call somebody and say, hey, I'm so excited. We have this new family skillet and I absolutely love it. I'm going to start doing my pineapple upside down cake again. So what I do is I just take butter and brown sugar and put it on the stove top and get it all nice and browned. And then I put in the pineapple and pecans and maraschino cherries. And then we pour a cake mix on top of it. We stick it in the oven, and then we can make another simple recipe while it bakes. When it comes out, we'll dump it out on a platter, and everybody's going to love it with some fresh whipped cream. And I would love to come and cook that for you and your friends. You're going to absolutely love this new cookware. So let's set a date so I can come and cook for you and your friends. But you see, if you have some sort of a product or a recipe that you're passionate about, that's going to come through in your voice, and people are going to get excited about it. Who doesn't want to have you come and cook for them and their friends? And so I try to not say, will you host a party? But instead, why don't we set a date when I can come in and cook for you and your friends? So that's how I always try to end my conversation, whether it's on text or email or in person, is, let's look at a date that I could come in and cook for you and your friends, because that's really hard to say no to. So then a couple of other things. First of all, well, everybody's on mute, so I won't ask you. We'll save questions for the end. But hopefully those were some tips about the wording. Just remember to make it about them and everything they're going to get, and how fun it's going to be for them to get together with friends, and how much they're going to love the recipe you're going to cook. Make it about them. Don't ever say, will you have a party for me? And then a couple of other things that I wanted to bring up as Jennifer was talking. 5 contacts a day is really important. But I don't do mine every day. I would much rather sit down for an hour and a half, once a week, 2 hours if it takes it, and knock 25 contacts out. So you have to find out what works best for your schedule. But the thing is, when you're doing it, focus on it. And so when I sit down, I usually have a big chunk of time on Thursdays, and it just has worked out that way with schedules. But I really try to sit down on Thursdays and really knock those contacts out, so that I've still got the number of contacts, but I do it all in one chunk of time. The other thing is I really work power hours. So if I can spend 1 hour on my business a day, and my big business is really pretty big, and so it takes that long. Actually, it takes longer than that. But as a new consultant or as a new director, if you can really focus for 1 hour, you can get so much done. And we can talk more about that as we move on, but that was a great organizational thing that I've done for years, and it just really helps me get a lot done. If you're focused, if you know exactly what you have to do, and if you don't get distracted by Facebook or phone calls or anything like that, you can really get a lot done in 1 hour. So we'll talk more about that. But truly, you can work this business however it works for you. And that's the beauty of it, is if working, when my kids were little, I did have to work more in pockets of time. And sometimes I would only have 5 or 10 minutes, which I call just a little pocket of time here and a pocket of time there. And so I would have to make 2 or 3 phone calls here and 2 or 3 there. And then after they went to bed, a couple more. That's a great way to do it too. And so just figure out what works best for you, because like Jen said, it's not hard. It's just the fact that we have to do this to be successful, to get on the phone, to get on Facebook, however you're going to make those contacts, and go for no. My kids, if you ask any one of my 6 children what no means, they would say, all no means is nothing's changed. So if you have somebody in your mind that would be a great Pampered Chef host, and you're nervous to ask them, so they're not having a show for you, right? Because you haven't asked them. And then if you ask them and you say, if they say no, all that means is nothing's changed. They weren't doing a show before you asked them. You asked them, they said no, and nothing's changed. So all no means is nothing's changed. But just think about, what if you get a yes? And I'll tell you, some of those hardest people to ask to do a Pampered Chef party turn out to be the best hosts. The people who might have expensive tastes, a lot of friends, the doctor type, some of those people that maybe are a little bit more, it makes you a little bit more nervous to talk to them and to ask them to have a Pampered Chef party. Well, taking a little bit of risk and asking those people that would do a great job, but it's a little scary, usually will net really great parties. So do it scared and just ask, because if you get a no, it's okay. All no means is nothing's changed, and you might get a yes. So, all right, Jen, do you have some more ideas for virtual parties?
How do I top that? Pauline mentioned so many things, and like she started with, so much of what she talked about definitely applies to virtual parties. And, as far as the pockets of time, doing all your contacts all in one day, for me personally, if I were to sit down and make all my contacts in an hour and a half, my ego can't take that many no's. And so I like to spread out, 3 to 5 contacts a day. And I was finding that my no to yes average was about 1 to 5. And so I could take 4 no's in a day, but I couldn't take 29 of them. And so that's why I just tend to try to build a habit of starting those. But again, point well made. It is completely what works in your life and what you can handle. I do know some of you who have sat down for, I've been messaging people for an hour and I've only had 1 yes. Hey, you had a yes. Okay, but yeah, that other 58 minutes of no's, that's a little bit of a blow. So, do whatever you think that you can, your ego can handle. But what I'd like you to do is make sure you keep score. Write down the no's versus the yeses, and for every 10 no's, I want you to do something for yourself. All right, go for a nice walk, go get your nails done, watch a movie, whatever you want to do that makes you happy to kind of restore your faith. But, keep track. Yay, I got up to 100 no's today. That means you talked to 100 people. Okay, and when you get that no, and it's going to come, I'd like you to find out, is it a no forever? Is it a no right now? When can I follow up with you? And if it is a no right now, can you recommend someone I could call? All right, see if you can get that referral and turn that no into a possible maybe for somebody else. And then you could call that person or message that person and say, hey, you guys, Anika, or, hi, Judy, Anika gave me your name because she thought you would be absolutely thrilled with earning some free Pampered Chef products in March. I'm so excited to tell you that you can get, 60% off any piece of stone you want, and then you could take the conversation from there. But try to get that referral so that at least the no isn't a dead end and turns into something else. So try to get either a spiral notebook, or if you want to do a digital version. One of the biggest obstacles I faced in starting my contacts is where to start. And so I would sit down in the morning going, all right, who should I call? How do I start? So if you start with basically like when you were a new consultant, your launch list, and write down these 5 names every set day or in your power hour, whatever you choose to do, so that all you have to do is look at your spiral and say, all right, here are my 5 names for today. Boom, 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 boom. Contact them. All right. If they don't respond, make sure you follow up. All right. Because it's not a real contact until you do the follow up. All right. With virtual parties, I do a lot of referrals for parties. I do a lot of booking within my parties. But if I'm starting from fresh, I'm usually starting with friends and family, past customers. I'll go back a year. If you've been in this for a year now, you can go back to past hosts and say, hey, brand new products are coming out. I'd love to revisit and spoil you this year. So that's about all I have. Pauline, you took a lot of my ideas, so bravo on you.
It really does work the same pretty much with virtual as it does for cooking shows. You just replace the word virtual for cooking, except for you do get to cook and eat and all that other yummy stuff for a live cooking show,
It's
which
pretty
is
fun.
fun. Yeah.
Okay. I just booked a cooking party for 3 hours from here.
Yay! Yay! That's awesome.
I got to drive to Denver next month.
That's great. Okay, so let's just take a minute and ask if you have any questions on the wording, or do you feel like you have words that you could say or text or message people? Does anybody have questions about that? You'll have to unmute yourself. We've got everybody mute so we get a clear recording.
Ask it scared.
I have a question.
Okay.
So I know this one girl, she's friends with my boyfriend, and I've been talking to her about hosting some parties with me, and every time she'll tell me, oh, let's wait until like after Christmas, because I joined in December. She said after Christmas, we got to think of my friends probably won't have the money, and then that's fine. So I followed up with her the next month, and I asked, do you think that you would want to host a party this month? And then she said, oh, well, let's think about next month. And then I'd follow up again. And then I asked her at the beginning of this month, and she said, let's wait for tax return. So everyone has all the money.
So,
on all this amazing products, and how do you keep following up and just hoping that
you're freezing a little bit, Jaleesa. So let me just answer your question.
Okay.
I think I've got it. Every month I like to sit down and write, okay, why is this the best month to host a show? And just a good example, I wanted to put one more show in this month, and I had a past host call me, and she's like, tell me what's going on. I think I might want to have a party. And I said, oh, you've got some of the cookware. Our cookware is going to be discontinued and changed. So if you want it to match, this is definitely the best month to have a party. And within 24 hours, we'd set the date, and she sent out 90 invitations with red stamp. So you just have to say, so this is what I would say to your friend. I would say, this is really the very best month to have a show, and you definitely want to have your party before anybody else so that they can see all the new products at your party. I use that all the time in March and September. You definitely want to have a party this month, so you're the first one to have a party with all the new products. It's a great line, and it's a really great reason for them to have a party.
Well, and I think being specific in why somebody should have a party is better than just following up with, would you like to have your party this month?
Mm-hmm.
Entice them with what they can get, by saying, specifically, I know you like the pizza stone. You can get it for $14 as a host this month. What do you think?
Yeah, or you might even say, they usually only have the stones on sale for hosts once a year, and this is it. So you definitely want to have it this month. I use that. You definitely want to have it this month, whatever the sale is, because they don't know. I mean, we think that everybody knows all the sales and stuff like we do, but they don't. Just make it the very best month because of whatever is going on that month. It can even be, you need to have a show this month because I'm only offering this one recipe this month. And anyway, I've done that too.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was just my question. What to do with when you contact people and they keep asking if we can do it next month, and just
it's not a no.
It's not a no, and definitely keep following up with them. I mean, sometimes it really is hard to get a date set, but as long as they're not telling you no, definitely follow up. Don't drop it, and try to find a reason why it's the very best month to host a show and get that date on the calendar. Great question. That's a really good question.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, so we'll just end. If you can think of a oh yes, Anika. Oops, I can't hear you.
I was double muted.
Okay.
Too. I was just going to suggest, just because Jennifer suggested it before when we were talking about booking, instead of asking when can you have your party, just say, I've got these dates available next month. You said you wanted to have your party next month, and I've got these dates available. Which one works for you? And so that might help with getting her actually on your calendar too. So something I've got to get better at, but just kind of flipping through my old notes preparing for the call, I actually ran across that. So that might be something to think about doing for your friend.
That is great. In fact, that's a great sales technique, whether you're trying to get a booking or a recruit or selling a product, is to say, you can either have this or this. Which one would you like? Because that way it's not a yes or a no question. It's a this or a that question, whether it's a date, this date or that date, this spatula or that spatula, this stone or that stone. Do you want to start your business this month or that month? It totally takes the yes or no out of it and just turns it into a decision of which month or which product or whatever. So thank you for reminding us of that great tip. That was perfect. All right, so if you can think with me for a minute about a triangle, and I would have you draw this, except for some of you are probably just sitting back and relaxing. So just think of a triangle, and we call this the belief triangle. But if you put at the top of the triangle belief, and then at another point you put actions, and then at the other point you would put results. And then just think about this, what I'm going to read you. My beliefs determine my actions. My actions determine my results. And then my results determine my beliefs. So it's a constant triangle. Now, most people, when they start with this triangle, they start with belief. My personal opinion is that you should always start this triangle with action. If you go out, you might not even believe anything we're saying tonight, and that's okay. But if you go out and you have the action, if you do these things that we're telling you, you will get bookings. And then that action is turning into results. And then when you start getting results, you're going to believe us. And so I always say, you know what, I'm going to try it. I'm going to start with the action. And I do this with really everything Pampered Chef trains me, and really in life. if you start with the action and you do the thing that you think is going to give you the results, then when you get that results, it just strengthens your belief that that you're able to do it. So just think of that. And I know it's a little scary to call. It's a little scary to go from 1 or 2 shows a month to 8 shows a month, but just try it. Just do the action and see what happens. Yeah. So just one little quote for you from one of my very favorite, John Maxwell. He says, "Only those who see their dream are able to seize their dream." So if you think about seizing something, that means you achieve it, you overtake it, you get it. And when you see your dream, when you make a plan, when you start doing these things, when you see your dream, you're going to seize your dream. It truly will happen. So good luck to you all. I'm going to post this list of people. And, you know, it's really random, but I give you a challenge to go through and contact the 20 people that will be on this list. And then I'll also post some of those little phrases. Now, there's also some phrases. Hopefully you've all checked out the workbook that goes along with this course. If not, you can get to it, and the directions to get to it are in the pinned post on our Facebook group. And so I don't have it right in front of me. It's under training, and it's super easy to find. But if you'll go on there and look at it. So what we need you to do this week for action, 5 contacts a day, or 25 for the week, however you want to do it. Book 6 to 8 shows. Now, normally we're going to do calls every other week. But this first call is this week, and then next Tuesday is our next call. So in 1 week's time, everyone's goal is to get 8 shows booked so that they can hold 6 in March. So 8 shows booked so you can hold 6. And you know what? You always have to do that. And it has nothing to do with you. It's just the way things go. There's always going to be cancellations. So plan for them. In the beginning of my business, cancellations really got me down. And then when I started planning for them, they just didn't even faze me because it just happens. It's just part of the business. So book 8, hold 6 in March. So in the next 7 days, by next Tuesday, we'll want to have 8 shows on our calendar for March. So that is our action plan. And then there's one other audio recording that you can listen to. And it is in the homework section of the workbook, the Director Bound Workshop.
Make it a full calendar.
Thank you. I didn't have that in front of me.
I know.
Make it a full calendar is what it's called. And Anne, who's on there, is one of my good friends, and she is amazing. So it's a really, really great audio. Stick it in when you're stick it in your earbuds when you're walking or driving or whatever. It's really great to listen to. Some really good ideas on bookings.
So if you don't know where to find it, if you go in Consultants Corner to Training and Resources, drop down to the Director Bound program, and all of these calls are going to be in a menu that's kind of like on the right-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a plus next to Kickoff Call. If you click on that plus, it drops down, and then you'll see Make It a Full Calendar right there.
Very good. So that's an audio you can listen to. All right. So everybody go out there and seize your dream. Woo!
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being live tonight.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.